Nothing is here to stop me. Just decline. I don't care. We have lethal. We're just trying to get to it at this point. And then we attack face with these. And I think that's lethal. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be playing one of the most fun decks I have ever played on Arena. This deck is super explosive, it is super fun, and whenever everything is going on in your favor, it just feels like one of the coolest decks you could be playing on the ladder, and that is kind of the big dorky Reanimator deck. The Dino Reanimator deck is 4-color. One thing I'll point out right away, the mana base definitely needs work. This is kind of a copy and paste from somebody who has played this and got Mythic and has had a good record playing it, so we kind of just ripped it for the video. I will be going to Vegas with the Apex team where I work, and then we'll be working the Ultimate Guard booth as Apex is partnered with them. I am personally not, but you don't know, we might try to change that. Who knows? Who knows? But at the end of the day, I'll be gone for a while. All these are pre-recordings, and that's just where we're at right now. But we're playing the Dino deck we played before, but we're actually going to play it on the ranked ladder today. And what are we trying to do, and how are we going to do it? One, we're going to discard our cards in our deck. Either a Bitter Triumph, kind of that best card in slot in terms of removal, slash a helper to our game plan by just putting a big dork in our graveyard. One Collector Vault could just be the 4th Bitter Triumph if you'd like. Use the spoils for 4. This is a discard of cards, additional cost. We make a treasure and draw 2. And then Invasion. This enters, makes a treasure. We don't have to discard, but most likely we will. And when we do, we get to also draw a card. And then we use our 2 reanimate spells, Zombify being one of the best ones that have been printed for standard in a very long time. And then we get Rakdos Joins Up, which also acts as our win condition. Whenever it enters the battlefield, we return target creature from our graveyard to the battlefield with 2 additional 1/1 counters on it. Whenever a legendary creature you control dies, this deals damage equal to that creature's power to target opponent. This works well when we have multiple Atalis enter, because one Atali will die and then we get to shoot our opponent for 7. And same with like a Gift Shaft, or in situations where Atali enters the battlefield, we get to sack 1 or whatever, and then say we hit another Rakdos Joins Up, this will enter, 1 will go away of course, but then we can reanimate the Atali again, doing additional damage, making it 14. And then we have a lot of other creatures like Carnosaur, which acts as a removal spell, but a kind of lower end reanimate target if we need to. Vaultborn Tyrant as a 1-up bullet. Galta as a 1-up bullet. 2 Gift Shafts as we want to splash for other cards. 1 Valgavoth, which gets haste in one of our games, which is really cool. I didn't think I would ever give this card haste, but that happened thanks to a new card we're playing. And Ardwin? I don't know how to say these characters' name, and I feel so bad because so many people love Final Fantasy. But we're playing this card, which is kind of bad unless you're reanimating it. Demons you control have Menace, Lifelink, and Haste. At the beginning of combat on your turn, exile up to 1 target creature card from a graveyard. It can be our opponent's and ours, but most likely it's going to be ours. We're playing the big dumb dorks. It's going to be ours. If you exile a card this way, create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 5/5 black demon, therefore it gets haste. We actually use this card to reanimate an Atali in our graveyard and have another Atali die, triggering our Rakdos Joins Up, swinging an Atali and a Valgavoth with haste, which was incredibly fun. It was just, what a weird game that became, so that's pretty exciting. And then we have another new card in this one, the Other Summon. You've seen this in probably the unit decks. When it enters and goes up to mode 1, destroy up to 1 target non-life permanent. On mode 2, it does the same. Mode 3, we draw 2. And the final mode is pretty much a launch the nuke buttons, where this creature deals damage equal to the total mana value of other permanents you control to each opponent. And I don't know if you've looked at the top right corner of any card in our deck for the most part, but that's going to be a lot of damage. So that's going to end the game if it ever gets to that point, of course, or somehow it hasn't ended the game as a flying 9/9. I will never know. But we're going to go ahead and dive into the games. I hope you all enjoy them. Again, this deck is super fun to play, and we get a lot of good results with it, and that's very exciting. Oh boy, I guess we have to mull this hand. We'll try, I guess. Ridley Gift Shaft has to go, I think. Domain. This is probably the Unideck, so we can definitely go a little over the top here, so be okay with that. I think I'm okay with drawing this as well. Then we can maybe find like an actual good valuable card. Beanstalk probably coming in if I had to guess. Analyze Pollen, okay. Go and grab that basic. We play an invasion, of course, and we'll just drop off a Carnosaur here. Don't really have a whole lot of other reasons to leave it around. No. I guess it doesn't have to be Una. Ooh. Wait. I mean, it's still main. We're just playing Terra in our deck, which is interesting, to say the least. I mean, when you play that many enchantments, I guess it makes sense. We'll play a Scryland here. I'll drop that off. And then it's just second invasion, I believe. Drop off this. Replace it with an Atali, which is huge. And then we'll most likely go for a Rakdos joins up. Reanimate that, unless they, of course, interact with my graveyard. And then it's kind of dependent whether our opponent thinks, like, maybe a Temp Lockdown would be good for them. I go for Overlord. Makes sense to me. Maybe a Sunfall or something coming. With that, that's pretty solid, but we're going to go for what we said. They don't have a white open here. They could have left a white open. We bring back Galta. Galta enters. These enter. Now we're going to do all sorts of crazy stuff, potentially. I mean, I guess we'll cast that. What do we hit from our opponent's deck with the Atali trigger? Vaultborn Tyrant from us. Get Lost is interesting. Guess we play here. Don't really care about the creature because they board wipe it. They board wipe it the way we want. Could blow this up because then they take 14 and I have a Zombify in hand. It almost seems interesting, but I guess I'll just pop this. I'm just afraid of only like a Sunfall here. Definitely could happen. No, they take one draw, they miss the Sunfall, and they concede. Very cool. That matchup is oftentimes going to be hard for us, but we take it right away, and that's pretty awesome. Interesting. We will keep here. We have a Bitter Triumph, which definitely gets our discard up. We have a Volt. Just a gain lifeland. Yeah. So I would assume this is Una, considering I don't know the character and everything else. So this is going to be Domain again. Hopefully we can find something good enough when we get there. Two of these. I could activate the Vault, but I think the draw 2 cards here is actually more important. They're going to have a counter spell. They'll have like a Get Lost or something. There's another Atali. We already just binned one, but that's okay. Kind of looking just for extra land drops and things. What to do, what to do. Yeah, Overlord, sure. Play here. Guess I'm just gonna do Seize again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, I'll just get rid of the invasion here. There you are. You're what I want. Intern. So now what we're going to do with our collection vault, or collector's vault, we're going to activate it, getting the Galta in the graveyard and doing essentially what we did last time against Domain. At least that feels like the correct play. Then just hope like we get enough life or something along that line to do it all. Activate. And a Leyline Binding or something could be held up here. We'll discard Galta. Now we don't have to have the treasure because we found a Lane War Waste, which is nice. We'd love to find another creature. Okay. I mean, honestly, I don't even know here if I'm supposed to bring everything back, but I kind of just want to play everything. And if I lose it all, I lose it all, you know? Let's put a Galta in. I'm at 3. This is everything we ever wanted. Axos joins up. We get to cast this because the Atali, and then Atali will deal 7 damage. We'll keep this one, I guess. Target the only one we can. And we want to keep the smaller one because we'd much rather deal 9 damage to them. Yes. Smuggler's Surprise. Okay. Don't really have anything to do with that, but I guess we do this. And that'll bring back an Atali, I guess. We do that at combat. And demons also have haste, so my Valgavoth has haste right now. Cast here, cast Seize, because, why not, I guess? I guess we could try to Bitter Triumph our creature, but, you know. Here's this. I think they're just dead regardless. It doesn't actually matter. So now we bring back an Atali. The legendary rule should apply. And this has haste, so what we want to keep is we want to keep the 5 with haste, and then they'll take 7. And then our Atali will trigger again, and then we have a Valgavoth, so even if they had a board wipe, they're never reaching it. Now, I have a Yuna in play. Nothing is here to stop me. Just decline. I don't care. We have lethal. We're just trying to get to it at this point. And then we attack face with these. And I think that's lethal. Very nice. The card came up clutch. They could have removed this technically if they had it, but maybe they were like, you know, my opponent's doing something really cool. I'm just going to let him. You know, this deck is sick. We do the sick thing. That's very awesome. We got Temple Surveil. We do have a way to discard stuff. So, I mean, this hand's just good, right? I could go for the Surveil land first. I guess I probably should, right? Because it's the only black mana source that we have in our hand that's actually, like, able to be active here. We're against skeletons, I assume. There's a slight chance that it's not skeletons. Atali's actually okay. I mean, I guess I just keep it. Sure. It's like, what am I supposed to bring? Am I supposed to bring an Atali back or one of these? I guess you only bring one of these back if you have the mana, right? What else would you do? Or not the mana, that's not what I want to say. But this just could, if you have a creature in the graveyard, there, I'll stop stumbling for 4 hours and just say what I want to say. All right, sweet. So what we can do next turn. Well, I guess none of my lands in are untapped, huh? So what I was thinking, if my land in are untapped, we could play a land, play this invasion, discard this, zombify this back out, and then it would bring back an Atali anyway. But we just don't have the resources to do that because our land's in are tapped, which is unfortunate. So we're going to bring back this Atali, and we kind of just have to hope it's enough. They most likely have removal. All right, it's probably going to be enough, but last time I said that, I got absolutely punished for saying it because Gishath entirely whiffed and airballed, but here we go. Are you whiffing or are you presenting a good amount of stuff? And a good amount of stuff is exactly what we're going to get here. Ballborn Tyrant, gaining the 6, gain all of our life back. We just draw swamps and pass. Okay, go ahead. But I think that is going to be enough. I don't know what card in Skeletons that they'll have to get out of this. Maybe they'll spend a turn. Maybe they have land double get lost. Or not get lost, go for the throat. Alright, timeouts here. We go to combat. They're not allowed to block because they ran out of time. So we just get there with lethal. Wouldn't it be funny if they made me resolve to get shaft trigger? Opponent first. No black mana here. Got the mulligan. We can keep this, I guess. It looks like we're going to have to play the control hand. I don't really have the red and the green without taking a lot of damage with this. We'll just do this. Hello. I think they said hello. Underground Mortuary. Sure. Temple. Sure. I don't think I need a third one. Unless they immediately go Deep Cavern Bat, Deep Cavern Bat. But then the Bitter Triumph does something. We have one of my favorite commander combinations in Sultai and Duress. Please come back to me. I need you so much now. I guess I'll keep that, I suppose. That is another form of it. So, just like a weirder omniscience pile, but playing black for duress? Or is this just the, I don't know. It's a weird one. Plays the swamp. We could go for the green source, of course. We do need to find like a threat. There's a Carnosaur, which is nice. We'll just slowly play out our stuff. Little Carnosaur is kind of that weird one where you kind of want to just like play it. But I think the slow start is going to cost us a lot. I think our opponent's going to have a lot of interaction, and we're going to have to fight through that. And we will probably struggle to do so. Yeah, it's just a dragon pile, which definitely most likely plays the board wipes and everything. Oh, there we go. Got another bargain. This will be one of the situations where, like, I don't really think I'm going to stay around too long. Because if they counter my stuff, it's going to be so hard. But if we do find a way to get Rakdos Joins up in play, have a lot of legendaries, this is typically like a deadly cover-up deck, which deals damage. Or, well, doesn't deal damage, it destroys. And then this gets to trigger and kind of do everything we want. But as you can see, a lot of moving parts. Or discard a card. Right? Yeah. They play that. No, maybe they're holding up a counterspell. I'll pay 3 life. I guess not. Like, no, yeah, it's discard a card. So pay 3 life, target. Yes, I'm sure. Here. We'll play this land and we'll go for a zombie find. We have 2 mana available. So counter unless we pay 2 is not going to be relevant. They reveal a dragon, so counter unless I pay 4, so that happens. They don't know about this one, but we can most likely get the rest here, and we'll just be in a lot of trouble. It's so hard whenever we don't do it quick enough against these control decks that get to mold their hand, but they tap out. Maybe thinking we have nothing. I unfortunately don't just have enough to play this. I don't have a white because I haven't been able to make a treasure. The card we needed for that's gone. But I do have a 9/8 and a collector's vault, which is interesting. I could activate it, which actually works because you draw a card and then you discard a card, which I'm not going to do until end step. I'm going to see if they tap out again. I do have a 9/8, but the likelihood of them not having a go for the throat seems so low. They've cast this card alone 3 times. They're almost halfway through their deck. If they didn't have just a straight up removal spell, I'd be mind blown. Oh, what we need, target non-land permanent. Sweet. It's kind of tough not to target that, right? Which tells us maybe they don't have another counter spell per se. Sure. Most likely they have another, or not counter spell, removal spell. But because they would like to probably pop one of these, I would assume. But we'll get rid of a land here. Unfortunately, I think I have to just jam this Gift Shaft. Or I could go for Carnosaur, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I still can't. I could pay 2 technically. I can't pay 2 for Gift Shaft though. Let's just play it. So if they don't randomly have another dragon, we get around it. If there's another Reanimate spell, then I get 2 Carnosaurs out of the picture. We'll just put that in the hand, I guess. And we'll just pass for now. Most likely that's gone. You gotta remember, the bottom card is a little bit tough. 4 dragons, analyze the pollen. Yeah, we feel like they have more copies of this, but maybe they don't. Again, would be incredibly happy for them to just tap out. The one target creature gets -X until X5 or more. Return target creature mana value X or less from the graveyard of the battlefield tapped. Okay. Just enough, and that comes in. One target artifact or enchantment. Right enough. They do tap out, so it's our window of opportunity, and they attack, so we get kind of everything we want. Could I activate this? 2, 3. I think so. Definitely think we should. Here's a land. Get rid of the land, I guess. These. Alright. Dishath. Are you good or bad? Do you hit the lottery, or do you fail us drastically? In lottery, it seems. So, we're going to do a lot of shenanigans here. The Tolly goes to hand. Another land. Exiles creature and then their graveyard. Yes, sir. Will do. Seize the spoils. Might as well cast. We'll get rid of, say, seize the spoils. We're going to have to use the treasure in this land to do what we want. Because we weren't guaranteed to rip another land in our deck. So all those are exiled. Now, Deadly Cover-Up can't exile us, which is obviously awesome. And then we just kind of pass here. We just sit here and wait. You may discard a card. When you do, return target creature or land card from your graveyard or your hand. Oh, no. They have nothing. They have 24 cards left. They've drawn so many that a Tolly Mill is actually viable, which is weird. Because when you start cycling so many Atali's, it just exiles everything. Because it does say exile those cards. It's not like Cascade where you put them back. Or Discover. A mechanic to standard, at least. Exile a top card from the library until they exile a non-land card. You may cast it. And those exile cards... yeah, they're just gone, I believe. I could be wrong. Am I dumb? I might be dumb. Hold on, I'll read my Atali. Cards from the top of the library until they exile a non-land card. You may cast any number of spells from among the non-land cards exiled this way without paying it. Yeah, so it doesn't say to shuffle them back or anything. So yeah, they're gone. They have a lot of damage on board, and every creature has trample. Oh, very nice. What are we picking back up? Okay. Sure. Attacking here seems crazy. They have 1 mana. I'll just discard a card. What do we want to discard? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess a Tolly 1. Never know. We might find a reanimate spell. Destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. Draw 2 cards. Yada, yada, yada. Let's start off with Gishath, of course. Down to 6. Tolly Carnosaur. Seems good. Invasion, I guess. Unfortunately, that resolved in a way that's a little bit worse. Discard a card. I guess these spoils can go. Hey, Rakdos. That's exactly what we need here. Now our opponent is 100% dead. So we do this. We play the Atali. We're just kind of doing everything we need to. But when we play this Rakdos joins... Okay, now we don't have to. Sure, I'll just play the 4-5. Whatever. I love doing these turns where you just get to do absolutely bonkers stuff, but unfortunately the clock stops here. We'll keep this one. They'll take 9 damage from our Rakdos joins up, and then that'll cause the game to end after this Atali. But you know what? We're casting everything. I want everything. I want it all. Now they have 7, and that will do it, in fact. So even if they were at 20 there, they were going to end up losing the game regardless because we had that second Rakdos joins up. And everything was coming together, so we were going to be able to play this, go in here and grab that Atali, bring it back for 9, and then do additional damage, and then maybe even hit more legendaries along the way. But getting the Regent, now all that is so awesome. This deck's super sick. Pretty good hand on the play. Everything's good. We play a mountain. Sometimes playing a mountain's enough to make your opponent kind of like pause for a second, but unfortunately they're mono red, so they're not pausing ever. We discard a Atali, of course. And then now we get to go right into a mountain. Or we can play the Sulfur Springs and then zombify out the Atali and everything should be good. We're going to take 4, unfortunately. Because this is by far the best 1-2 card combo you can kind of do. It feels like you're getting comboed whenever that happens. But we go right in a mountain. Don't really want to take any extra damage, even though the treasure will be used for the black mana anyway, because we have to use it anyway. But we're going to bring out Natali. Although our opponent's deck doesn't necessarily help us out a ton. We'll discard a card with this. We're going to pop... Weirdly enough, you want to pop Manifold Mouse. And then I want to get rid of Vaultborn Tyrant. And then I'll play a Light Shatter as well. Just Light Shatter is just going to be here to literally do nothing. It's just going to be a blocker in addition to our 7/7. It could attack. I guess I could have it attack this, right? May discard a card if you search your library for a battle card. Reveal it, put it in your hand. Nah, I think I'm just going to hold back. The Atali will probably just end up blocking. We'll see what's up. Even if the Atali ends up dying, like we're playing for this Rakdos joins up anyway. Fire Claw down, Monster Trade possible, Emberheart Challenger a card in play. And our opponent picks him up. Going first with like a hand that's really close. We don't have the black mana. But I think I'm going to keep here. This is probably one of the riskier hands I've kept on a hold of. But we'll play this Gain of Life. Always kind of got to get the tap lands out of the way. I really saw that they had 8 cards in hand. I was like, why do they have 8 cards in hand? But they drew for turn. I was... Oh, no, bro! Nice. Oh, we're so dead. We're so dead to the same deck. I didn't draw one of the 8, or so on. We're already seeing the deck enough. Oh, wait, they don't have it. Let's go. Realistically, the only problem is I don't have any way to put anything in my graveyard, so I'm doing nothing. All right, reanimate it. Come on, I believe in you. Yep. Let's see it. Let's see how much you do. 14. That all resolves with me, boss. Oh. Would have been cooler, but, I mean, that's still cool, you know? Collector Vault. I mean, I might as well take one draw. If I don't draw anything, I'm just going to play Rakdos Joins Up just to show them that we're in the mirror. Which is just hilarious. We're literally just doing a wash right now, which is funny. Here. In Natali. I can't imagine I have anything good. I just wanted to show them this. But, I mean, we might as well wheel it. Oh, come on. I let yours resolve. Let mine go. Come on now. Okay. Now they let it resolve. We had a seed spoil. I'm just moving on. Unfortunately, we did not find a way to put any in our graveyard. Really, I mean, I think the hand's like okay. Our Carnosaur is removing anything. We just happen to play the mirror. So, sure, I guess. No threat in our hand and a discard spell in 2. But I do have a lot of... Like, I have a removal spell that I can't play. I had to maul, I guess. I said, we have way better 6s. I don't even know why I was trying to keep a hold of that. So I guess here it's just Collector's Vault. No. This is the mirror again, dude. Oh, it's Delirium. Cool. Fair enough. Like, hey, man. Fair enough. I'm gonna do Invasion anyway, just because I want to make the treasure, I think. Do I want to make the treasure? Guess not. I just want to Carnosaur the Keen Eye Curator next turn. This is probably going to be a game that's decided on who's on play or draw. And right now we're on the draw, so we're just getting crushed. We're going to take 6 here. Going to 11. And then we basically get the Carnosaur the Keen Eye, which they get rid of Keen Eye. So honestly, thankfully, we didn't put that card in the graveyard. We go for Carnosaur before they can start activating this, because you never know when Delirium will be available in their graveyard, and if we mess that up, obviously we're going to be having a tough time. But I just don't see a world in which I find the correct cards. If find another Light Shatter. Unfortunate. Breakout. A little worse for wear there, and that's for sure. So I take 3, looking at taking 6 here. I can gain a life. And then I can play here. And then... It's so weird, because I feel like it's supposed to be Valgavoth. But, like, I also feel like it's supposed to be a Tali, you know? But, like, how does Valgavoth get really beaten in this spot? Okay. They could do something here if they have the card. They can sacrifice their Light Shatter by playing an additional one. And most likely turning Delirium on. Which is what they do. Now it doesn't matter. They're out of mana. And now the artifact's on. So it works now. I'll take 6. The breakout, unfortunate. For sure. Rakdos joins up. This is why I almost felt like it was supposed to be a Tali, because a Tali would allow me to go wide here. Because I think the problem here is if they have the Surge card, it gives it double strike. So they'll actually hit me before my Valgavoth ever makes combat damage. Oh, sweet. That's my breakout now. That's my Keen-Eye Curator now. I think they're looking for the Surge. If they have the Surge, we lose. Or a Lightning Strike, I guess. If they have Surge, we lose. If they don't have Surge, we are in a good spot, that's for sure. Tap there, the Exile Mountain. It does not matter if they have the Surge. Like I said multiple times. Okay, it matters if they do it like that. They literally just toss lethal into the yard. I don't know why. So if they would have surged this, it would have hit me first, and then we would have instantly lost. But I randomly have not Delirium. They do, so it doesn't count for me. That'd be sick to make my Valgavoth do that. We could do Invasion here. We can do Seize. I don't actually know if that works. I guess I'm going to play here. Then I'm going to put the Atali in the graveyard. Okay. But, yeah, our opponent missed lethal there, if you know why. But, yeah, so Delirium, if there are 4 more card types in your graveyard, your creature gains double strike until end of turn. There was a 3/3 attacking and a 3/3 attacking in this. And we blocked this, which they then pumped. If they would have just done it here, this would have hit me for 4 before my Valgavoth would have hit their creature. And then they would have been able to actually end the game. So, unfortunate play there. Maybe a misclick. Who entirely knows, but I think I'm going to call it there. All right. To wrap up the deck very quickly, like I said, I am currently in Vegas maybe, or this is the day I'm traveling to Vegas for MagicCon, working with Ultimate Guard. I've been hanging out with their crew for quite a bit. This weekend, they showed up to Apex, and we've been talking ever since, you know. It's kind of cool. One thing I did not know, that Walmart does not exist in Germany, which is interesting. They told me that today, and I just like some of those things that you kind of take for granted, you know, where it's like, oh, yeah, that store is literally everywhere. I have 2 within like 20, 30 miles of me or whatever. And they're just like, we've never been. It doesn't exist. And I said, that's crazy. But at the end of the day, they've been there. I'll be working with them, which is pretty awesome. With Apex, because Apex and us, we're partnered there. I'm not partnered personally, but yeah. So I'll be there. I'll be having a good time. If anybody's there, obviously stop by, say hi. You can meet some of the other creators as well. They'll be doing boosts all weekend. But this deck is awesome. This is one of the most fun decks I've played in a very long time. It's so sick. The mana base that we found is just not that great, to be honest. There's definitely mana fixing you can do. It's just weird. Honestly, this looks like we ran out of mythics and rares and we just played all these, but it actually didn't come back to bite us too often, which is sweet. But you can definitely fix the mana base, do what you want. But this is one of those decks where I didn't really want to recommend outside of that, but outside of anything else, because of the fact of the crafting material that is required to build this deck, as you'll see in a second. I mean, all mythics, all rares, all the common uncommons, and typically the land is pretty expensive as well. You can play like caverns and stuff on top of all that. This card's actually sick. This card worked very well. It actually won us a game. It allowed Valgavoth to attack immediately because Valgavoth is a demon, and this gives those haste for whatever reason, and then also brought back an Atali with haste, which was cool because we turned it into a demon, and then Narakta is triggered. So a lot of said, this deck is really, really fun. It actually does seem good. I know the first time I played it, I was a bit more on the edge, being like, I don't know if I'm sold, right? You see one player do well with the deck, it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't believe you, but yeah, I mean, it worked out well. All the manipulation and all this stuff. I mean, realistically, these like other tap lands, the temples and whatnot, they should just be theaters and whatnot, surveillance. But we kind of found the list. I saw a new card in it. We copied and pasted it in, and I just didn't adjust anything because I don't really have a whole lot of time to do so. I have to record 5 to 6 videos, and it's been fun so far. So hopefully that remains at the end. I don't know. Check back in 5 days. Maybe tweet me if I'm okay. You never know. But with all that said and done, I hope you all enjoyed the video regardless, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.